Good morning. It's still morning time, just barely putting on my gloves. I'm out here getting ready to go for a run. There's still too many cars in the parking lot. I think the problem is it's not cold enough yet. You can see the parking lot's still kind of wet looking, and we got to get it icy before it runs off all these cars out here and I have this place to myself. But I'm going to call it my woods right now. That's how I see it. I always like to frame things from my vantage point. So it's my park, my woods, my trails. Hope you're doing well. I was thinking about how we frame all things of life. I'm not much of a handyman. I can take up a screwdriver or hammer or saw, but they're not my real strong suit. There are friends that help me with those things when I need a bigger project. The smaller ones I can usually knock off in about 3 times the normal speed that a seasoned person would do it, but I can get it done. But now faith, that's something I like to do. I like to live by faith, and that faith is enlarged with practice. The more you learn to live by faith, the more you're able to live by faith. The idea of faith is to see something and believe what it's going to be, not what you perceive it to be right now. And that's hard sometimes. It's hard to see things differently. Like, can you see these leaves here, these trees with green leaves on them? Can you see that? That'll be true in about 80 days, 75 days. There'll be leaves up there, and I believe that. It's not true right now, but it's going to be true, and that's faith. And so faith is described in Hebrews chapter 11. You should read about that. That's a good exercise to read about faith of others. And the thing that I thought was really interesting, there's a verse in there that said, those who walk by faith have their hope set on a different country. Would you like to have your hope today set on a different country? And the country they have their hope set on is one that's been prepared for them by God. And God longs for that time when we eject out of these earth suits, these bodies, and don't have to lug them around anymore, but we spend that time in this new city, this new country that he's prepared. How cool is that? That's a big deal. But one of the things that cracked me up in that chapter, it probably wasn't funny to them. To me, it's kind of funny because it hadn't been done to me. But it said they sawed people in two. People of faith were sawed in two in those times in history. I don't even know what that means. I've seen magicians act like they're doing that on shows, but I can't even imagine that was a punishment for believing in the God of the universe, the creator of the universe, just for believing that and living like that cost them to be sawn in two. How screwed up is this country that we live in, this world that we live in, that somebody would think that would be a good idea to do that to another human based on their belief in God? Here's the deal. If we believe in God, we know that he's going to provide for us even if we're sawn in two. He's going to provide for us even if this path turns to ice. He's going to provide for us even if there's no food on my table tonight. He's going to provide because that's what God does. He's the great provider. Jehovah Jireh, I will provide. So today, as you're looking to the future, think about that new country that he's preparing. I think it was in verse 26 there. You'll have to look it up and see. But enjoy him today. Probably you're not going to be sawn in two. You might get a little cold if you stand out here in the cold, or you might get a little stub toe or something if you're running in the woods. But probably you're going to be okay. And just live by faith and take the initiative to get out today and do something that brings hope and joy to somebody else. I hope your day is a great one, and I hope to see you before long. Take care.